Well, ask your question, man.
Well, so
Since I interrupted you.
So yeah, you know, you always cut me off, man. So with your product line, so what's the trend as far? What's the most popular thing? The concentrates, the flour, or cartridges.
So if you take a look, we have an in-house brand, so we rep the Clear. So the Clear is a concentrate brand of the year, is awarded at the MJs. So
nice.
When you talk about having the finest top-tier quality, you know, the Clear embodies that. And the Clear they've got like hundreds of SKUs. So to start, we're mainly focused on our distillate vape carts. They come in I think we've got 8 amazing flavors out there. And that's what we're known for is the
What
flavor
are the 8
program.
flavors? Let's talk about it.
Oh, man. The 8 flavors, so you got OG, you got pear, you
Grape.
got blue raz, grape,
Don't forget orange cream.
orange cream,
Orange
lime
cream.
sorbet, the lime sorbet, the golden goat. The golden goat is like the top seller. That and blue raz,
Blue raz.
right?
So let me ask you this. So let's talk a little bit about how. Like,
Did I get them all, Sham?
So are these?
You're missing lemon haze.
Lemon
but-
haze. I'm sorry. Yeah, there
Lemon
you go.
haze.
Lemon haze.
But I think you go back to the Clear and like why we picked the Clear. Not only are they one of the best companies out there to work with, but they were the first company to bring the molecular distillation process to the legal market, right? They started in California. They're based in Colorado now. And they have those flavors that AJ mentioned. Those are award-winning flavors. They've won numerous accolades. Most recently, Concentrate Company of the Year, worldwide accolade. But in every state that they operate in, they've won awards for all their flavors in all different product categories. So, you know, they were one of the first award-winning flavors. You pointed at their vape pen, right? They got impeccable hardware. It does not fail. We know there's a lot of problem with vapes. And it was these 3 reasons that we partnered with them and we brought them to market in New Jersey.
Sweet.
Yeah, shout out to the Clear. Seth, I know you're watching. What's up, brother?
Shout out to Seth. So Sham, tell us about how do these carts even come to be? Is it based like if you have let's just say orange cream, right? Was that was one of them?
Oh yeah.
So orange cream is not a strain. So how consistent does the strain remain behind the terp flavored carts?
So that's the whole Clear's thing is their consistency in their flavors. Whether you buy their cart in California, Colorado, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, Montana, it's always going to be the same. It's going to be the same quality and the same flavor. They're known for their flavors. So they use a mix when it comes to flavors. They use esters, flavonoids. They use terpenes in that. So their proprietary blend of flavors and what they have their high quality inputs of the oil is what makes them consistent in all their states. So when we formulated in New Jersey, we use their SOPs. We have to use their requirements and their guidelines to make sure that we're buying the right quality oil. We're getting the flavors from them, so we know it's their flavors that they've approved. We're using their specifications and their recipe to manufacture. Shout out to the lab team. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time, and they're actually helping the Clear make their process better as well. But they take their guidance from the Clear. It's one big team, one big conglomerate of synergy and thoughts, and we come together and we make these impeccable products, these award-winning products, and we brought them to New Jersey.
So
Jinx. So Sham, so you alluded to the issue of, carts having issues. I've purchased carts and some don't work, some stop working, or they don't flow that well. That's a big thing to tackle. But one of the other issues that I saw with vapes as well is how do you make your products flavor that last? I've had carts where you taste the flavor the first 4 or 5, 6 times, and then all of a sudden they all taste the same. And I found that a little frustrating. You want to have the flavor the whole time. So how do you differentiate your product from those like that.
That's another, like I said, the third part of the clear is their research and innovation when it comes to their hardware. They have a 10-point system that all their hardware goes through. They test the hardware, they heat it up, and they'll cool it down. They'll make plumes. They work with their manufacturers in China to make sure that their carts perform at optimal levels. So, for exactly what you said, from that first straw that you take from the cart to the last straw, whether it's a half gram, 1 gram, 2 gram, that flavor is consistent and the same from the top to the bottom. And what they really thrive on is their recall rate. They have less than a 1% recall in their hardware, right? Their hardware failure rate. So anytime there's an issue, it's reported. It goes to your manufacturer in your local state, back to the clear. They record it. They keep track of everything, and they bring all that data back to their manufacturer to make sure that they're always evolving and they're staying on top of their hardware with their manufacturer.
So hang on one second. So Sham, you kind of partially answered my question. So along with this partnership with Clear comes equipment that you guys have that's calibrated and formulated to work with these formulations. And then do you do that with? Is it just Clear the flavor, or is it all the flavors that you guys spoke about?
So the way that it works is just kind of take a step back. I want to talk the hardware real quick, and then I'll get into how we kind of make it happen.
Sure.
So Sham mentioned the 10-point inspection, but it takes the Clear 2 years to evaluate hardware before they put it on the market. And so, we talk to a lot of our partners, our dispensary partners, friends, family, folks who use the cart. And one thing is, we are set at kind of like a premium tier. That's what we have, is a premium product, a premium tier. But Todd, you mentioned something about the flavor, and you only get so much. Every bit of that hardware that you see in there is designed to work with the oil, with the flavors, right? The flavors are very sensitive. They are, if you heat them up too high, you start burning them up. But if you don't get them hot enough, you can't taste it. The other part of that is inside of that. Sorry, I'm an engineer, right? So I'm gonna start getting into the details because I think this is important. In the core of that smells good, by the way.
It smells great.
That's absolutely correct. The
and
flavor.
This is orange cream.
This
And
is
we don't know what this is.
late night green tested.
Orange cream.
Yeah, go for
Late
it.
night
It's orange
green
cream.
tested.
Orange
Right?
cream.
This is Neil's favorite. So
I like that.
inside of
Good
that is a
choice,
ceramic core, right? And that ceramic core has to have, it's porous. The holes are too big. Yeah, see that? The oil, if the pores are too big,
Yep.
it's going to clog. If it's too small, it's going to get too hot. You got to have that balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that when you combine the oil that we pick out, the flavors that they provide us to have the terpenes and all of that in there, when that's combined properly, that will work. Now, the evolution of that hardware now, check this out, is the evolution has now gone to the interior being gold-plated. Why gold-plated? Because it's inert. Because, again, you're worried about the flavors. You need it to last. It's glass. It's not plastic. Why? Because glass isn't porous. You use a high-quality glass. You're going to get all of it. So, I know there's a lot of people out there and a lot of companies that put out, hey, they'll do it for less money and you'll pay less money. But you get what you pay for. And when you're only using half of your vape, you actually just paid double, and it was cheaper to buy what we got out there.
Very
And I
good
want you to
point.
think about that, right? So you get all the flavor, all the distillate, all the reliability. And when you say, Sham's saying it's less than 1%, that's not even close. It's like less than 0.1%. See, when you think about large-scale manufacturing, right, and you think about failure rates, 1% is terrible.
Right.
They're not 1%. The other guys might be 1%. We're at like 0.01%.
Right.
We're in that top tier of reliability. And so because of that, people buy our product. We've put out 60, 70,000 carts in a couple of months. I think I've got one clog, maybe. And maybe that guy just didn't charge it right, but what did we do? We took it back, gave him a new one. Right?
What's the tale about keeping it stored upside down? Does that mean does that register?
Yeah, I
Sean
mean,
shaking his hand. Yeah.
Sean's shaking his
Yeah,
head.
that registers.
So what do
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, you got
turn the
to
cart
keep it upside.
Yeah, they're saying when you're not using your cart, keep it here. It keeps the flow of oil out of this, and it doesn't clog up. It doesn't clog up.
But it
on
also
you.
depends on the pore size. Again, if
And
you've
how
got
often you
bigger
use it.
pores, it's going to get into that pore, and it's not going to unclog. If your pore sizes are correct, that's proprietary. I can't tell you what that's about. I can't tell you the details there. Sorry, buddy. You got to do your homework.
Interesting. Okay.
It's called, that's your competitive edge.
That's right. You
But
can't-
that-
Enough. That's enough.
That makes a big difference. I've had these things sit out in a
Commercial.
0-degree
Commercial.
weather. I mean, God, this is a Colorado company. It gets cold out there.
Well,
Still works.
interesting point, because I'm like, hey, don't want to leave in the. I've had of course, summertime. I was a fool. Left one in the car, and
Well,
It
the
leaked.
days of leak. It seems like the days of carts leaking seem to have gotten a tremendous amount better. Used to be like you used to pull it out of your pocket, and you're like, ah, fuck, man.
you could feel it.
You got 1 gram of fucking liquid in your.
These, we haven't had a leak. So that's a testament to, Sean mentioned it. We got a great lab team. Anthony, Rob, Montana, Guy, Craig, Brian, right? Those guys, that team is phenomenal, and they put so much love and care. So you got to blend it, you got to add everything, and you got to make sure that
It's
you
a
have your setup correct.
formulation.
It's the formulation, and that's done with the human hand,
Yep.
right? And that's got to be done right. You got to take your time with it. You got to let that oil heat up slowly over time to get it right.
So let me ask you this: the form factor of this particular cart.
Yeah.
This is, I would consider this more of an older style.
Yeah,
of
we
this.
just evolved from that. That's actually the old one. We
So
actually,
you have a new
we
tip.
kind of evolved it.
So
yeah.
what'd you guys go with on the new tip?
It's the new tip is actually it's a little bit of a wider. It draws better. It rips a lot
It's
harder.
more of a
Oval.
Yeah.
like a skinny oval type of thing.
And it's thicker. So we've gone to
Thicker,
like a
yeah.
14 millimeter format, so it's closer to that cigar size than it is to that now.
Wow.
Hey, Jeremiah's the first. He's the first guy that smoked a cigar on this set. You know that?
Oh man,
We need
always,
to-
always a first for something.
It smells more like cigar in here than it usually does like weed. So we might have to fix that.
Yeah, man. We might have to ban that. Now I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, we got
You know,
to.
we might have to repack that.
We're
Crack,
gonna
crack it
seen
open
it.
and roll it up again.
Yeah, Sham did a full inspection. He says it's not a fucking regular cigar
Yeah.
at all.
He got a fake. You can't have a fake blunt on the set.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing the new tips. Tell us about the equipment that comes with this program.
Yeah, so, it's not, there's kind of like two sides to it. It's not the equipment that came with the program, but it's the equipment that works with the program best, right? So we
Gotcha.
have, one of the things that we did, we kind of take a step back. We talk about you got to think ahead of the curve. You got to think about where the market's going, and you got to think about what's going to make you the most efficient when you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
You make that investment now. You don't wait. So we went out and we got state-of-the-art equipment for our vape carts. So this is an equipment known as the DDS, the Detroit Dispensing System. So with that system, we can actually manufacture 10,000 or more vape carts in a single day, capped,
Wow.
right? So it not only fills the vape cart to the exact weight that we need it. Yeah, that's beautiful. We can also cap it, and we have a hydraulic press that does it. And it is not just crank down on it, right? It's not just human crank down, right? When you see that crank down, that's where you're going to potentially get your problems. So every one of these are capped to a very specific PSI, and we have an
That's right.
automated hydraulic press that makes that happen, right? So we can knock well over 10,000 a day on that, right? And then so, again, we have 2 people working there. You go through the formulation, you get it into your equipment. It's got a big pot there that you could put the distillate oil in.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
And it's clear liquid gold. hence the clear.
The clear, baby.
The clear, baby. So